So I wanted to take a quick look at one of the LP homework problems, problem 9-09. It's mutual funds located in New York City attained $130,000 by converting investable bonds into cash. Now looking for further investment opportunities, blah, 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 blah. First thing to note, when you looked at this earlier, it may have said Midwest Oil. It should be Midwest Steel. I know that by looking down at the actual definitions for the variables where it said M was Midwest Steel. So hopefully it didn't throw you off too much. What I really want to focus on though is looking at these two constraints here. Well, let's do first. I'm going to do constraint 2 and constraint 3. The first one you should be able to do, I think, but let me do constraint 2 and constraint 3. So constraint 2 says government bonds should be at least 20% of the steel industry investments. So when I get something like this, what I do is I try to write it out in symbols as I'm reading the sentence, and then I go back and rearrange terms. So, let's see. So government bonds should be at least 20% of the steel industry investments. So I'm going to... So I'm just going to shrink this so I can put everything on the same page. So I'm going to say G is the fraction of proportion of total investment in government bonds. So G, it should be at least, so that's greater than or equal to 20%. 20% is 0.2 of the steel industry investments. To invest in steel, there are two ways to do it. One is in how much I put in Midwest Steel plus how much I put in Hmwk Steel. So then what I do is I expand and rearrange terms. So I'll have G is greater than or equal to 0.2 M plus 0.2 H. And then that'll end up being negative 0.2 M minus 0.2 H plus G greater than or equal to 0. So then you can plug it into Excel with all this stuff on the left-hand side. So let's do the same thing for the third constraint. The investment in Pacific Oil, the high return but high risk investment, cannot be more than 65% of the total investment in the oil industry. So let's pick a different color. So the investment in Pacific Oil, which is P, excuse me, cannot be more than 65%. So we'll do a less than or equal to 65% is 0.65. Of the total oil investment. We invest totally in oil by A plus P, the Atlantic oil plus the Pacific oil. So now I distribute the 0.65 to both terms within the parentheses. And then I move everything over to the left-hand side. So 1P minus 0.65P is 0.35P. And then it's a minus 0.65A, and that's less than or equal to 0. Alright, so those are the two constraints you might have a little bit of trouble with for this particular problem. I think it's number 14 on the homework problem. So hopefully that helps you out.